So, you've heard the story about the man who was obsessed with his family nanny, as told through his wife's eyes, but now he has posted with an update of his own. He has gained a little clarity, which is great for him. Here's what he had to say. Am I wrong for wanting to update everyone on my situation with the nanny? So, a while back, my wife, who is 42, posted here about the complicated situation I was in with her and the nanny, Barbara, who is 52, who had been in my life for as long as I can remember. It got messy. For context, Barbara was my nanny growing up. But she wasn't just any nanny. She was more than that, way more than she should have been. When I was a kid, I thought the connection we had was special. When I went to college, things got physical between us. I was 19, she was 29. It felt natural at the time, but now I can see it for what it really was. Abuse. She had manipulated me for years and I didn't even realize it. After my last post, things took a turn for the worse. I admitted to my wife that Barbara and I had an inappropriate relationship when I was younger. I thought it was love back then, but looking at it now, I can see that I was brainwashed. She conditioned me to need her, and even though I didn't realize it, she was always pulling the strings. Every time I tried to start something new in my life, there she was, slithering back in. Barbara moved into our home after my son was born, despite my wife saying she didn't want a nanny. I didn't listen. I thought I needed her help, but the truth is, I was still under her control. She played the long game, convincing me I couldn't raise my son without her, and for years, I let it happen. Then, when my wife finally left with our son, Barbara was still there, comforting me. And yeah, one thing led to another, and we crossed the line again. It was like I was right back in that twisted version of my life. The same hold she had over me since I was a teenager. And it hit me. Barbara wasn't just a nanny or an ex-lover or whatever you want to call her, she was my abuser. For years she'd been feeding me the idea that I needed her, that I couldn't function without her. The brainwashing was so deep, I didn't even realize it until my whole life crumbled. Now, I'm finally rid of her. She's out of my life for good. And to be honest, if I could, I'd shove her in front of a bus for what she did to me. She ruined my adult life in more ways than I can even begin to explain. I've lost a marriage, missed out on a real connection with my wife, and I've got a son who has no idea why his father is so messed up. I can't get those years back, but I'm finally starting to realize that I don't have to live under her shadow anymore. She doesn't control me. She never should have. I've started therapy, and it's slowly helping me unravel all the manipulation and emotional abuse. But I'm angry, really angry. She took so much from me. My freedom, my ability to build a healthy relationship, and honestly, my self-worth. So, am I wrong for wanting to shove her out of my life for good, and feeling like I'll never fully recover from what she did to me? I feel like I've woken up from a nightmare that's lasted my entire life, but the damage has already been done.